Hey everybody, can you guys hear me okay? Welcome to our code event this month. I'm really excited to be here. I'm honored to have this opportunity to do this specific code event to honor Black coders and anybody who's Black and inspirational as we do Black History Month. And I'm humbled also to be able to have the opportunity. And so just thank you for coming and being here and being ready to learn with us. To start, I'll share my screen again, except I just lost my window. Hang on a second. I will do, oh my gosh. You guys ever lose your window right in the middle of something? That totally just happened to me. To start, I will show you just a quick overview of who we are, what we do, a quick intro of myself. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna share my screen. So, can you guys see my screen? Yeah. All right. So we are Skillstruck. We work with schools K through 12. We work with schools K through 12 to implement coding programs. This is an example of how schools might implement. We'll go here. How a school might implement coding if they're using the resources that we offer. You can hit your whole scope and sequence, your standards, once or twice a month within the lower grades, and then we have these semester courses aligned to upper grades. And we're really passionate about equity and getting computer science out to everybody. And so we make our curriculum friendly for everyone. We make our curriculum friendly for teachers to be able to learn to code. So that's just a quick highlight of us and what we are. And then just a quick intro to me. I started out teaching music and taught music until I had my oldest daughter. So here's me teaching music in college. Actually, that was like an internship thing. These are my kids. And then I stayed home with them for a while. I came back to work and taught as a third grade teacher and as an instructional coach. And then I wanted to get into technology. I'd never coded before. I was always considered tech savvy in any job I was in. But I wanted to learn coding, and I had never been given the opportunity before, which is one of the reasons I'm so passionate about getting the opportunity to everybody. So I went through a boot camp. I went through a program for women getting into coding, and it made it so much more accessible for me to have that network. And so I wanted to take what I had learned from teaching and what I learned from technology and make a difference for others. And that's where I come into this K-12 space of wanting to get coding to all students. I want everyone to have the opportunities that I didn't have. So I still stay involved. I teach coding at my kids' school and I teach orchestra because I want to stay relevant. I want to stay in the loop and I want to know what the needs are and what it really feels like to still be teaching. So that's a quick intro to me. And then from there, we'll dive into coding and what we're doing, unless anybody has any questions before we go on. No, okay.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
How did I get your information? Is it because of code.org or what?
Where are you located? It might depend on who.
Rhode Island. I'm in Rhode Island.
The Rhode Island CSTA sent my information out probably.
Okay, got it.
Are
Okay,
you
great.
affiliated with them at all?
Yes, I am. I'm a member.
Well, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Any other questions before I go on? All right. If you do have questions, feel free to unmute or type something in the chat. The way that tonight's event is going to go is first I will, I'll do it like a lesson plan, like you would be teaching your students, because I want you to be able to take this back, whether you're a tech coach or a teacher, and be able to replicate it in your classrooms. And so I will go through treating you mostly like students, but also talking to you like your teachers at the same time, kind of striking that balance. We'll share the lesson plan, excuse me. We'll share the lesson plan at the end of the event and the slides so that you can take it and use it. And the link that you're using tonight, you will be able to use with your students. So I'm just checking out the chat. Yes, music, Danica, music and coding are like, I couldn't believe how much they had in common. I don't see Danica on the screen anymore, but she put a cool thing in the chat. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. So if any of you are in schools where your students have not had much exposure to coding, these first few slides are good slides to share just to kind of help them understand about coding. So a quick definition is coding is a language that tells the computer how to do things. It's something that we can get like a lot more complicated, but really that's what it boils down to. We're giving the computer instructions when we write code. And it's a language and anyone can learn a language. We have coding in our lives every day. Any technology that we use, and these are all things the kids ideally will be familiar with, uses coding. And so who can code? We all can code. If you like Spider-Man, you like Iron Man, they're both examples of coders, but you don't have to be a superhero to code. Everyone can code. We have engineers, travelers, YouTubers, vets, doctors. I won't read through all the rest of those right now, but basically whether you want to go into a computer science related field or just any of these careers, having that knowledge of how to code is so helpful and will help you be more successful in your job and your career endeavors. So anyone can code, you can code, and with that, we're gonna move forward. So just a quick view for the teacher side of things. These are the slides I'm gonna be sharing. I'll take this one out because you won't need to show them me. But we have the learning objective, and as we go through these slides, I have videos in the slides that I'm not going to use tonight, but that will be there if you want to rely on those videos when you're teaching your students. So to start, I will show you our website that we're going to be doing something like. So this is a website that I coded. I wrote the code for it for Black History Month. I learned about the Hidden Figures. I saw the movie and I was just super intrigued and excited about these Black women who made such a difference. And it was really cool to actually learn about them and do the research about them, because I learned that there were a lot of differences between the movie and what actually happened in real life. So this piece of integrating history or whatever content you want is such a valuable tool in coding, because it makes it so that you can bring coding in any subject. And for today, it's Black history. So here's just an example of a super basic website, and you're going to be able to do a lot of these things by the time we leave tonight. So with that, I'll hop back over here. I want everybody to hop onto, can somebody drop the playground link in the chat? Can't figure out which slide I left it on. We're gonna hop onto what we call the coding playground. So Crystal just dropped that in the chat. It's on here. I put like a QR code. Here we go. What you'll do is you will either scan this QR code, but if you're doing it on your computer, it's better to do it on your computer than a phone. So you can do this playground link that they dropped in the chat. You can type the bit.ly in, and it's going to take you to a window that looks like this, the code playground. For your students, they do not have to put their first and last name in. I know a lot of times, wait, can you guys see my screen? You can, right? Okay, good. I didn't see the box around it, so I was like, wait a minute. A lot of times I know there's security and privacy things where students can't put their name in, so they absolutely don't have to put their names in. but they can put whatever placeholders they need for the name. We would love it if you would put your actual school district, because that helps us know where there's interest and who to follow up with. Oh, email. It doesn't do email or school district. Did they change that? Sam, do you know?
It might have been changed, but after this, I can go in and amend it so that it'll ask for that instead.
Okay, yeah, because we don't want students to have to put their emails in. So we'll switch that to be school district after tonight. So when the students hop on, they'll just put their first and last name or something as a placeholder, and then their school district. When you get onto our secondary platform, our elementary platform looks different. So if you have an elementary focus, know that a lot of the learning principles are the same, but they look different to be more developmentally appropriate for younger learners if that's your focus. This side right here is our textbook. And when you click this drop down right here, you can see our courses. We're going to be living in web development, HTML1 tonight. And then if you click on any of those, it brings the lesson plan up. There's some navigation features here. If you want to open and close different windows, you can play with that and drag things around. This middle window is where we're going to put our code in. And this window over here is the output, or where we will see our code. Is there anyone who wasn't able to get to that web page? Everyone on the playground link? Yeah, it looks like I'm not looking at you, but I promise I am. I've moved you to the other screen so I can see you. Okay, so first thing we're going to do then is we are going to create a new file. And you can name this whatever you want. For tonight, I'll just replicate this Hidden Figures website. And so I'm going to call it Hidden Figures 2. And then make sure it's HTML as the default and click save. And then it will give you a blank file that you can use. And just referring back over, if you're going to be using this with your students, we've got this slide here that has the code editor. And then I have slides here that do the navigation that I just showed you and go through how to save a file. And then we start into the coding. So ideally first with your students, you're going to walk them through the content. So if you're choosing to take this and do Black history with it, you have them choose a person or an event or something that they are researching. And you can use this graphic organizer. There's a link to the PDF in it, and you can adapt it, tweak it if you want it to be more of a 5-paragraph essay. So first they're doing the content. And then after they have all the content ready, or you can do like a piece at a time, then you're going to come down and you're going to start the code. And so there's also a graphic organizer included that they will write the code in for. And we're going to go through that piece by piece tonight. So the first thing we're going to learn is how to put the title of our website in. So coming back over here, to do that, we use what's called a tag. So HTML is the language we're using, and it's a tag-based language. So we use something called tags to write our instructions. The first tag that we're going to use is a header 1 tag. And we type, actually we'll do this. So we do the open angle bracket, H1, close angle bracket. And then that's the opening portion of our tag. Most tags have 3 pieces. They have an opening, a middle, and a closing portion. And so we're going to put whatever the text is in between. I'll just put a placeholder there for a moment. And then our closing tag is almost the same as the opening tag, but we have that /. If I was teaching students, I wouldn't explicitly tell them the /. I would actually say, what do you notice that's different about the closing tag than the opening tag? So more engagement here, but you guys seem like a quiet audience, so I'm just being a little more direct instruction style with you. So here in the middle, we put our code, and we can see that that appears over here in our output. So I hope you're all doing this along with me. Michelle, I see that you're writing. All of this, Michelle, is in the textbook. So over here, this lesson right here lives right here, headers. And in the slideshow, it'll direct you to that section. Also in the lesson plan, it lists that out as well. So this goes through everything that I just talked to you about. It has a video that demonstrates it. So if this is new to you, you can rely on this textbook to teach those coding concepts, have your students try it, and then there's extra ways they can practice it. Over here, there's checkpoints, quizzes, and challenges. But for now, I'm just correlating it to the website, and you can use these pieces. So this could actually be extended into multiple lessons. Michelle, you are going to go to the playground link. Is that what you were asking? Do you have that link available? Okay. Do you want to open that up and follow along and do it, or is it easier for you to write as you go, just so you have it all big? I can give you a
I
second.
happen to, I'm a note taker,
Okay,
but at the same time, my computer won't let me see you and what you're doing and opening up that screen like large enough because my computer is really small. So
okay.
I just want to follow and see what you're doing and take notes.
Perfect. That's a good clarification. So I love that you're asking questions and keep doing that. And if I'm going too fast or too slow, go ahead and feel free to say something. I see some other names on here. You can type in the chat even if your video's off if we need to speed up or slow down. So the first thing we're going to do is the title, the header 1 title. And then in this lesson plan over here on the left, it talks about H1 through H6 tags. So they're actually going to learn how to do the title and the subtitle in that same first lesson. So for the subtitles, we use header 2 tags, or you can go down all the way, like I said, just through H6. So I'm going to type a header 2 tag. And I can't remember what my first thing was.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you show me, this is Karen Alexander. Can you show me where I have you on a split screen. So,
Okay.
you said the lesson plan. I'm
Yeah,
looking
I haven't
for
shared that
tab.
with you yet, but I can.
No, I mean, you clicked on something on the left-hand side. I was just wondering what you were clicking on over there.
Was it right here? Is this
I
what
guess when you say something about it, it'll show you H1 through H6 is the piece I'm talking about. Where is that
Okay,
located?
perfect. I'm glad you asked for that clarification. So over here in this section right here, this is the textbook side. So I think I called it a lesson. In this textbook side, it teaches about the H1 through the
Oh, I see it.
H6
Okay.
tag.
I think I see it. Mhm.
Yep. And then I'll show you this just because this is kind of a veer to the side, but if this is something you're wanting to do in several lessons with your students, it's good to know how this works. So after they go through that lesson, if you're relying on that instead of, like how I'm teaching it directly to you, they can go through this checkpoint and it gives them a challenge. So it's going to tell them, you're going to create H1 through H6 tags, and then you're going to choose a topic to put those in. And then it will auto grade those for them. So if they hit grade my code and they don't have it all in there, it'll prompt them. If they do have it all in there, it'll give them points. So you can go through and do this where you have them build out a website all at once, like I'm doing with you, or you can just have them pick a few topics and really go deep into those topics and learn those topics. So that is the checkpoint. The quiz is just multiple choice, same idea, it's auto graded. And then the challenges and the games are ways for extra practice. So essentially what we're doing here with the website is like we're doing a challenge, but it's not a challenge that's on here. It's one that we did custom for this code event. Elizabeth, thanks for coming. Please reach out if you have any questions. Feel free to email me. I'll drop my email in the chat really quick. And thank you for coming. Okay. Does that all make sense to everybody? That left side, the textbook, and how you can use that to help you? Okay. If you have questions, just speak on up. So we're gonna let's do a tag. Oh, I think my first one was the first computers. So we have a subheading right here. That's the first computers. And then I'm gonna put 3 subheadings in here. First computers, I can't remember what all I put. Let's see, who were they? And then let's do another one of, let's say, fun facts versus movie myths. There you go. I didn't actually do that one on the other one, but I thought it would be fun to do. So once they've practiced this, they've got their title, they've got their subtitles. We can see that this website's starting to take shape, but it's a little bit boring with just black here, right? And so there's another lesson or section of the textbook over here that goes over colors for the text. So the next thing that we're going to learn is how to change the color of our text. So to do that, we're going to come up here inside the angle bracket. So if you notice, we've got our open angle bracket, our H1, and then our close angle bracket. We're going to go right between that one and the close angle bracket. And we're going to type style. Why isn't it working here? So we have a space, style equals. And then one thing in coding is there's a lot of what I call sandwiches or Oreo cookies. So we have in our tags, we have our opening tag and our closing tag with the text in between. That's like your Oreo cookie, your crust, and then your text is your cream, your crust, your cookie, and your cream. And we've got another little cookie in here where we've got these quotes, and we're going to put the cream inside of these quotes. So we've got color, and then let's go red with this semicolon, and notice how that changes to red. So doing this with your students, again, you can rely on the textbook side over here and the practice that it provides down here if you click on these sections, or you can do it with them directly or a combination of both and have them practice changing the color for each of their headers here. So we'll do this one blue. And then we'll do one more, and then do you guys have any questions while I'm typing this out? Oh, actually, I'm going to do one more because I'm going to show you one more fun thing. So one of the reasons we teach color so quickly is it really helps with engagement. The students get excited to be able to change the color and start to take ownership of their website. And the more choice we can give students, the better, right? So they can just type in colors and see what works. In the text color lesson, there's some recommended colors that it shows them. But we have this little color wheel up here that if they want a color that they don't know the name of, they can use something called a hex code. So they can drag this little slider around, and let's say we want this purple color. You just hit copy right here, and it's going to copy these numbers for us. And then we paste those right here. Oops, hang on, I got to do my closing quote here. And then that changes color. Some fun things that you can do as you're teaching are, if a student has a question that's not working, share the screen and let the students debug the code together. So we're not just teaching a coding language, we're teaching critical thinking. We're thinking how we learn about new things. We're teaching growth mindset of we're trying things, we make mistakes, we change it, we see how we like something, and then we tweak it as we go. So there's so much more than just coding in what we're doing and how we're teaching it. You know, this happens tonight that we're teaching about Black history and coding and all of these other, I guess, soft skills along with it. Any questions at this point?
Yes, I've typed in style equals color, colon, red, semicolon, but, oh, wait, there is a missing piece, okay. Because the color didn't change.
Did you figure it out?
I think so. There's a close angle that after the red
Right
in
here?
the, yeah, I think that is what I don't have. So you don't
That
have,
help?
I think, let me see. Nope, it didn't change colors. Yes, that helps a lot. But
Sorry, I should have done that sooner. You can copy and paste your code into the chat, and let's have a look at it and debug it. Do
okay.
you know how to do that?
Yes, I do.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
You'd be amazed how many people don't. So I hope it's okay that I asked that.
No, that's okay. I just got everything so small. So hold on, let me do that real quick. Okay, where's the paste? I'm sorry.
No, you're
I know
just
how to do it, but I just changed my screen. So now I got to find the option of doing that. Geez, sorry.
no.
You
It's
can go
okay.
on. I'll put it in.
Okay.
Oh,
If you want, when you put it in, we'll circle back to it.
there it
But are
is.
you going to be able to follow along if I keep going? I don't want you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here it is. I just needed to find the there it is. I don't know if it makes any sense, but.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open a new file right here. And I'm gonna drop your code into the file and let's see if we can figure it out together. Oops, hang on, that didn't work. Yeah, see, I just asked you if you knew how to copy and paste and I didn't do it right. Okay, oh, I see what it is. Michelle, do you know what it is?
Oh, did I forget a quotation?
minute.
No. Was my
I'm gonna
quotation in the
have-
wrong place?
She's capital H and you're lowercase h.
It has to be within that bracket.
Okay, so yep, these we do want to be lowercase h's.
Yeah, it's
So we
got the
can
forward
fix that.
slash. Who, oh, the colon, the semicolon, this here.
Which
Oh,
one?
you
Right
can't,
here?
yeah, like you gotta put that down here. The
That's where
semicolon.
it should be. That one's where it should be. Marjorie, you unmuted. Do you know?
Yes, it's where the second, it's like the caret. I call it the caret, but it's the greater than sign, I guess you would call it. It has to be within that.
Yep. So I think Karen, you noticed that it wasn't there, so you added it, but didn't realize that you already had it right here.
Exactly.
So we've got that little
Oh.
sandwich with the angle
Oh.
brackets.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's inside of the tag.
Mhm.
Okay,
And
all right.
I'm so glad you shared your code and we did this together because again, these are things as we're teaching and we're talking about how we teach students and the mindsets that we want them to have. We're learning that it's okay to be vulnerable and, you know, put our code out there and make mistakes. We're learning that we can like iterate over something and make it better each time. And we're learning critical thinking of debugging and like looking at it and trying to figure out what exactly it is. And there's so much value to that in having that group learning experience where you're seeing what other people are doing as you're going. So thanks for being willing to share. And Michelle and Marjorie, thanks for hopping in on the debug.
Oh, you're welcome.
I love it. Okay, so now we've got our titles. And if we hop back over here to the slides, if you're going to use the slides with this, so we've learned the title code. We would type in here the H1 with the open and the close angle brackets. And then we'd go on, we'd do our H2 with the main ideas. And then I taught paragraphs in this before text colors. So text colors is down here. Paragraph is what we're gonna actually go over next. So that's great that it's here. So then we're gonna go into the paragraphs lesson and learn how to do the paragraphs. So all of that's in here. And if you look at the slide notes, not why they're not showing, here we go. If you look at the slide notes, I've got some teaching prompts for you here as well. But again, relying on this textbook over here, it's gonna really give you all the instructional content that you need. So I'm gonna come down here, click on paragraphs, and then everything I'm gonna teach you is taught, maybe not in exactly the same way, but the content is all there in this paragraph, and you have the checkpoints, the quizzes, and the challenges to help with practice. So we are gonna come underneath the first computers and put a paragraph tag in. So what that looks like is we do our P for paragraph. We've got our opening tag. So here's our outside of the Oreo. Then we've got whatever content we're gonna put in the middle here in a moment. And then we've got our closing angle bracket / P close slash. Oh, this was one other thing. I knew there was one other thing on my mind and I couldn't think of it. Like I lost my train of thought. But teaching how important following directions is, coding is really, really picky. And so just that concept of really paying attention to directions and being super specific and precise is another awesome thing within all of this. So I'm gonna just type a couple sentences here. So the first computers were actually humans. Computers, like we think of today, were taught by humans how to do everything that they do. So again, if you're teaching this in your classrooms, you might want to have your 5 sentences in there, all of your structure, you know, that ties in there. But for tonight and just the purposes of time, I'm just gonna do that piece quickly here. Any questions to this point?
You're making it seem very easy and fun. I never saw coding as being fun, honestly. Thank you.
That makes me so happy. Thank you, Michelle. I love it. I think it is really fun. I'm glad to feel that way too. All right. Let's yay, Danica, thank you. Okay, let's put a color on here. So style equals, okay, think in your head before I do it, think about what comes next. See if you can remember without looking. Just give you a moment and then I'm going to type it. Okay, I'm going to type it out now. So I put my quotes in. Sometimes it's really helpful to put that opening and closing before you put the middle content in because it just helps you always remember to do that. So we'll do color and then let's do orange this time. And our semicolon, ooh, that's a little bit hard to see, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got our paragraph. We would put a paragraph under each of these, but I'm gonna move on so I can show you a few more things. Any questions on this? Nope, we're good? Okay. I did not put this in the lesson plan, but you guys are catching on to everything really quickly. So I'm gonna show you this, but know that all of this stuff is in the textbook. So I'm gonna go over the structure right now, and we're gonna learn about the body tag within the structure. So notice right now I'm having to type in that style equals color and then the name of the color. And that's really good for students to have that repetition of having to type it each time at first. But after a while, that's like, can you imagine building a whole website and having to type in the color on every single line? It's going to get old really, really fast. So what we can do is, this is where what we call structure becomes really important. There's certain code in programming that doesn't actually show up on our web page, but helps make our web page work better. And so we're going to put what's called a body tag at the top of our page. And then I'm going to come down to the very end. So the body tag is like our Oreo cookie. Everything in the middle is like the Oreo cream. And then we're going to come down here and do our closing body tag, just like that. And nothing has changed over here. It's not changed anything yet. What I'm going to show you, I'm going to take out these style bits here. And I'll just take out these, take out 3 of them, and I'll leave a couple in there. So let's say we wanted to put a color in for everything all at once. We can do that on the body tag, and it will apply to everything. So we have style equals, oops, I always do that. Our quotes, our semicolon, we got all that in there, and then we're going to do color. Anyone want to pick a color? If not, I'll pick
Magenta.
magenta. Let's see if magenta works. Love it. It works. Okay, what do you notice about the text over here?
Some of the text changed and some stayed the other color that it was. Some text changed to
Yeah.
magenta. The others remained the color you had chosen.
Yeah. Why do you think?
Well, because you have the H1 tag red and the H2 tag is blue. So I'm assuming that that is a direct, like a direct command.
Mhm.
And then anything that doesn't have a direct command will be whatever color you chose the body to be.
Perfect. You're right on point. That's exactly what it is, Karen. And the fancy word for that is called inheritance, but that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. And I saw Jeanette, that's funny, we're gonna pick magenta too. So just to make it look a little easier on the eyes and not having all these random colors, I'm gonna take these out and we're gonna make them all magenta. There we go. Okay, so we've got our title, our subtitles, our paragraph, and our color. And that's everything I put in the lesson plan for the students because we can move a lot quicker here. But I'm gonna teach you some more things. And generally what I'll do is when I get to a point where the students have a few things really solid, a really fun thing to do is to let them pick a concept over here to learn. and then have them teach the class or have them teach a buddy. And so, oh, actually there's one more concept I forgot. It's the picture. So you could choose something, you could assign them something, but everything they need to learn how to do, everything you saw on my example website is all over here in the textbook. So that one more thing I forgot, it's because I'm not looking at my slides over there, is doing an image. So there are a couple websites that are really helpful for images. We're going to click on this images lesson. Michelle, this is not a free program. We have some things you can do for free with us. And I'll hit on that at the end. So will you remind me at the end to talk about that? Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go into a new tab and we can use, I like Unsplash and Pixabay the best. Again, these are listed in that textbook. So all this information you're going to get afterwards and you won't lose access to it. So the
What did
reason
you
we go
type
to
in there on Splash?
Unsplash, yeah. Is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
And then the other one I really like is Pixabay. But if you look right here, it's got, I'm really zoomed in right now, but it's got them all listed and you can drag and move these so it doesn't look so. You can even like close out of Windows so that you can see just the textbook. But okay, right here. So let's do, I'm gonna do a picture of a computer. And the beautiful thing about Unsplash and Pixabay is you don't have to worry about copyright. Everything on these is free for use. So public domain images. You can also do like a Google filter search of public domain images. So I'll pick this computer because it has code on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click on the image. There's several steps to this, so I'll go over it a couple times. Right click and copy the image address. Then I'm coming back over here to my web page. I'm going to close out of this so I have a little bit more room. And I'm going to put this picture right underneath my title. So this image tag is a rule breaker. It doesn't follow the same rules of having that cookie that we've talked about. It's a rule breaker. We just have to have a few rebels in life. So it looks like this. We have IMG, which stands for image, SRC for source, equals, and then we're going to put that link we copied in those quotes, and then our closing angle bracket. So normally in all of our other tags, you would see something like this. But the image tag and then the content would go in here. The image tag doesn't work that way. It doesn't have that. So image source, and then we are going to paste. So I'm hitting Control V, our image right there, and it's huge. It's way too huge. If we open it in a new window, it's even huge here. So this is another fun little thing we get to learn. If I can go to the right tab, we are going to type width equals, and I'm going to do 300 pixels because I know that's a good starting point, and I just know that from having done it before. So you can play with it and try what you like. If you like that size, great. If you want it to be bigger, 500, you can make it whatever you want. Right now I'll make it 300. So that's how you resize the picture. You guys experts on putting pictures in now? A lot of steps there. Okay, we'll do one more. Let's see if we can find a picture of, what did I do before? Let's just do coding. So the one downside is, as I prepared for this, I'll show you guys. On my website that I made, I wanted to put a picture of these women in. And if I was just teaching in school, I could do that with copyright rules. There's a lot of public domain images. NASA has limited use images, and I would have put their actual picture in there. But because this is, I'm not teaching in school technically, I want to be super careful about copyright. So I'm just using more generic images. But I wanted you to know you guys have a little bit more flexibility there. And that's why I'm being kind of vague right now. So let's do this picture right here. I'm going to click on it. Oh, hang on. Was that a paid one? Sometimes they have paid ones. Oh, yep, these premium ones are charged. So we'll go with this one right here. Right click, copy image address. Coming back over here, I'll put this at the end. So before body, because remember we want everything inside of that body tag, all of that content. So we have image source equals, and our closing angle bracket, and then we drop that link right there. And it's giant again. So we do width inside of that angle bracket, width equals, I'll do 300 pixels again. And I gotta put my quotes around it. And again, here it is. And if they want to see it in a new window, they can see what it looks like. If I was doing this on my own, I would not be so zoomed in and I would be able to see a lot more of what I'm doing all at once. So I just wanted to point that out because for these events, it works better to make it bigger, but when you're actually working on your own, you can see well enough to have a lot more fit on the screen there. Questions up to this point?
Yeah, my image did not pop up.
Okay, did you do Pixabay or Unsplash?
I don't remember. I think I did the second one, Pixabay.
Pixabay? Did you do the image address or the image system?
Hold on, let me go back. So I know how to right click on it and do that, but I don't see anything that actually says address. What I see is when I right click, well, let me do this. Maybe I need to open it like you did. And then
So yeah,
right-click.
if you don't open it and you just click on it, you get this instead. And so you have to actually click on the image.
Right, I still don't see it. I see copy image link. I do not see something that actually says address. And I thought copy image link would work.
And it didn't work. Sam?
Well, I don't know, maybe my code is off by something.
What, so
no.
did you go to, you said you went to Pixabay?
I went to, yes, Pixabay.
Okay, let's do it. Let's see if we can recreate it. Pixabay. And what did you type in for your search term?
I just typed in computer like you did.
Okay. And then which one did you use?
Chose that one right through there with the blue screens.
This one?
I wanted that one first.
Okay, so I'm gonna click on it. And then right click. And it gives me the option for image address. Does it not give you that?
Okay, so let me try that again. No, it actually, I did not see that option. Hold on. I must got too much open.
So as you are teaching these concepts, these things are going to come up. Students are going to have these questions. And sometimes when we're new to coding, it's a fear of like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to answer this question. But I feel like one of the best ways to do that is to go through and work on it as a class or have a friend debug. Like there's always going to be that student in there that seems to know everything. So stick them on it and let them help, or, you know, just make a learning opportunity out of it. And it'll be more fun for everyone doing it that way. You'll all learn a lot more. Were you able to find that, Karen?
Yeah, no, it actually does not give me that option. I really don't know why. That's really weird. And I'm in there, I'm looking at the same one you have. It just.
Are you in Chrome?
I might be, hold on. Because I have, okay, no, I must be in Edge. I have both of these browsers going from, I'm a teacher, so I just have both of these browsers going from this morning.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That is really weird.
Sometimes it's a browser. So using the Skillstack platform will work in any browser, but it usually works best in Chrome. Just
okay, let me go over to Chrome because I was actually in the other one.
Okay. Try that out. While you're working on that, I'm gonna just go on, and then when you get there, if you want us to troubleshoot through that again, we can absolutely do that. So I will show you all just a couple more fun things that you can do to spruce up the website and make it look more interesting. If any of you
Yes,
are,
it works.
It
It's
works?
better. It is, I saw copy address this time.
oh, beautiful. Yay, that makes me happy. Okay,
This is,
so if any of you are going crazy about all of this being left aligned like I am, oh, Anne says Skillstruck also supports Firefox and Safari. And Danica, yes, I love Hidden Figures. It's so good. You'll love it. Okay, so sorry, squirrel moment back here. If you want to change the alignment, again, there's a lesson over here that goes over that. It's text align is that lesson. We're going to learn how to put more than one style at a time in our code. So that's why we actually have the semicolon there, because it's going to separate this style from the next style that we put in. So we have our style equals and the quotes. And then everything that relates to the style goes inside of those quotes. So we've got our color already. Now we're going to do the text align. And I'm going to say, oops, semicolon, center. And then everything goes to the middle. And my brain is a lot happier. And same with the color, you can overwrite that down here if you want to do it different ways. So just so you know, you guys are getting like almost a whole semester's worth of stuff. We're probably like halfway through the semester right now. It's just like this BB class. Okay. Yeah, we have, oh, I didn't introduce Anne and Sam and Crystal. We have Anne and Sam and Crystal. They're all on here for support. They work here with us at Skillstruck, and it's an awesome team. We have a little bit too much fun sometimes. How would you center just the title? Put that code behind the header. Jeanette, that's exactly right. So if you just wanted the title done, I'm gonna cut this out. And then I'm gonna put that right here. So style equals, oops, so I do that every time. And then, gracious, I'm hitting all sorts of keys here. Style equals, and then I'm gonna paste that in, and it moves just that title over. So it kind of both ways. And to the point of typing, in these little, after the checkpoint and the lesson quiz, there's challenges, and then most of the lessons have games associated with them. And some of those games are typing games that practice using symbols that we use in code, because we're not as used to typing those and it's kind of clunky. And so we have those in there to help your students practice those. Okay, we'll do one more fun thing, and then we'll talk about some of the other questions that we had and just kind of wrap it up and make sure we all know where we're going with this and how we can use it in our classrooms afterwards. So I'm gonna add a background color. So again, within this style, I've got my open angle, or sorry, my open quotes, my closed quotes, and this is a style. And so I'm going to type background dash color. And let's go, let's just pick one out here. Let's pick like something that contrasts. We'll go with this one. So copy, and let's go lighter. And then I'm going to paste that in. And not have my background color. So it just makes it all pop a little bit more. You can put background color also on individual header tags, and it'll make a stripe across that header tag and make it pop a little bit more. So again, just like with engagement and students, they're getting all the content in because they had to do all the research to prepare for this. So they're learning a lot there, and then they're really just making it their own and having ownership over that topic. So it's just a really great tool to give them that choice and that practice of sharing what they've learned. So let's check this out. Here's my website and a new tab. Do any of you have a website you did that you want to share? I know Michelle was taking handwritten notes.
Yes.
Yes, you
Good.
did. Is that Michelle that said yes? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't have a website, but I have the kids. They've made lots of them, but this is good. I like this program. I want to get it. It's good.
Thank you so much. Let's talk after about that then. And I'll tell you a little bit more about all of that right now. So we've gone through all of these different concepts, how it works on the platform. after you leave tonight, let's say you want to take this and do this with your students. This link will be active. Is it through March 1st, Sam?
Yes, through March 1st.
Okay, so this playground link right here will be active through March 1st. So this link, and this are all the same. I put it in there multiple ways to try to help you have multiple ways to access it. And so your students can hop on and they'll see exactly what we have here, what you played with tonight. And we're going to change that so they put in their school name instead of their email address. Again, that helps with the privacy concerns as well. So we will send you a follow-up email with the slides, with the lesson plan, and the playground link. And I can drop all those in the chat too, actually. Let me pull up the lesson plan here.
But what was the website you said we could hop on until March 1st?
It's this playground link. So let's drop these in the chat right now. So this playground link right here. Did you guys drop it ahead of me? I can't see the chat right now. Oh gosh. I'll do copy. Nope. Can somebody drop that in the chat for me quicker than me? Did you do it already? Okay, so they've dropped the playground link in the chat. I'm going to drop the slides link in the chat right now. And find my chat. It hid from me. I've got too many windows. There we go. Okay, so there's the playground link. Here's the slides link. So you can open that up. Again, we'll email that out as well. And I'm going to pull up the lesson plan link as well, and I will show you that so that you can kind of understand how that navigation piece works as well. So here's the lesson plan. I'll drop this in the chat. Thanks for waiting patiently while I grab these links. Okay, there's a lesson plan. So if you come here on the lesson plan, we've got the objective, the standards. The standards are all aligned with the CSTA standards. So as much as your state standards align with the CSTA standards, there's alignment there, and there's usually a pretty high overlap. We have it built out for multiple states. If you want that specific information, we can follow up with you for that. We've got the link to the playground right here, and I've also linked the slides in here. So if you grab one link, grab the lesson plan link because it has everything included in it. And then I just go through step by step each of those things and how to do it. And then I also gave you a document with some starter code. So if you are, it's being weird and not opening, you can kind of see it in the preview. It has that code in there. And so if you just want to copy and paste that code and not have to type everything out for yourself, you can kind of have that quick shortcut and use that. So you guys all have access to use this for free through March 1st. Any questions on that? I'm going to stop my share for a minute so I can see your faces straightly. So yeah, Anne's saying if you have questions, reach out anytime. You can reach out to support. You can go to the links on Skillstruck and click the little chat bot and ask questions. You can follow up with me with an email. If this is something you're interested in using for your school, like using the specific Skillstruck program, let's follow up afterwards and we can talk about what that looks like for your school or your district, and just work through that process of how we support you through the implementation and make sure that you feel ready and set up for success. And if this isn't something that you want to use in your school district, all of these coding concepts are universal. Like the code is the same no matter what program you're using. So the content that you got here tonight will work with any code editor. So it's stuff that you can take and keep and use that way. So any questions? You guys are awesome for coming. I know it's late at night and it's outside of normal working hours. We have about 5 minutes left of what our allotted time was. So with that 5 minutes, we can either end early, we can go back and I'll show you one more fun coding concept, or I can give you a quick overview of, if you're interested, what the teacher tools look like that we have to offer and what the elementary platform looks like. So any preferences there? Anyone want to drop in the chat or say something. Karen, thanks so much for coming. Appreciate that and loved your feedback. Jeanette, you want to see the teacher tools? Thank you, Michelle. You guys are fun. I love teaching that I still get to teach these code events and do all these things. All right, so the teacher tools look like this. So here's our teacher platform. This is our secondary platform that you were just in. This is our elementary platform. And this is a typing.
Valerie, I don't think you're sharing.
Oh, thank you. You're right. I forgot to hit share. Okay, do you see it now? Thank you, Sam. Okay, here's our educator, our secondary, our elementary, our typing, and then this is just something I have, so don't worry about that. So if you were to use this program, these are all of the tools that you have access to as a teacher. So the big one right here is these lesson plans. So correlated to the textbook that you saw on the platform are all of these lesson plans. And you can come in here, you can see what the overview looks like how many lessons there are, how long you would need to teach them, whether you have to go in order or not. And then you can come into and view the lesson plans. Anything blue correlates to the platform. Anything not blue is things that you'll go through with them. And there's time frames, so you can plan it out. If you only have 20 minutes, you just pick that one part and just do that one part. So we've got lesson plans K through 12. We have the ability to manage students into different sections and view all the students' grades. So if you want to come in here, you want to see it's mastery based here, so you can see what the students have completed, what they're working on. And then as you get more comfortable with it, you can go deeper and deeper and look at their code. I won't click on all of those things right now, just to keep it high level. We also have assessments. So if you want to do a pre, a mid, and a post assessment to have that snapshot in time of where your students are, you have that option. You can unlock and lock the curriculum they have access to. You can talk with your students directly. If any of you have Spanish speaking students, we have the ability to change this whole platform into Spanish. And we also have accessibility features for students that need different accessibility tools. Again, we want everyone to have the access to coding. And oh gosh, I'm getting emotional. I just really want everyone to be able to have the tools they need to learn these skills, not just the coding, but the mindset that comes along with it. And so to be able to give your students those tools is just, I think, awesome. And so hopefully, if nothing else, we can help you out with the lesson plans that you got tonight. And if we can help you more, we'd love to continue the conversation there. Anything else you guys want to see on here? Oh, I'll show you this. Campus Pro is an online PD. So we found that, especially through COVID, it's been really hard to have live PD. And people like the option to be able to come and do PD as they go. So this is, you can think of it as a Netflix library of professional development. That's everything from how to use the platform to how to teach specific learners to how to teach the content. So it's kind of the gist of all the teacher tools we have there. Anything else you want to see tonight?
Just a question, is this video going to be available later? Because it's recording. Okay.
We'll send that out with the follow-up as well.
I have hopefully a quick question. This is Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
I work at a detention center.
Okay.
So the kids cannot have access to the internet. So is this something that can be standalone? Is it designed that way? And then there's also the data collection part of it. So is that something I just need to have a conversation with somebody?
So we are very careful in how we've looked at data and privacy and security and all of those things. Especially where we work in all 50 states, some states have really, really strict policies on that. So we do have that in place, but this isn't the first time that's come up where in a detention center, things are a little bit different in what you can give students access to. Right now, we're entirely a web-based program. for, ironically, accessibility. So I would love to chat with you and find out what your needs are. And if it's not something that we can provide right now, we want to know how it could work so that we can build to that in the future as we go. Because we really do want everyone to have the access, and especially in a detention center, like to give these tools and skills is so empowering. So
Yeah, that would be awesome.
thanks for asking. Laura, the costs we do based on, it's a range. And so it depends on if you're using it in just your classroom, if you're using it for your whole school, if you're using it for your district. And also the discounts that we do are based on percentage of adoption. So in that same vein of wanting to increase accessibility for everyone, we found that when districts implement this district-wide versus in just one class or one school or one grade, the sustainability of it is better. The continuity of it is better. You don't have a teacher get pregnant and quit, and then you have to train somebody new, or a teacher take a new job and quit, and you have to train somebody new. That teacher turnover is just so hard when you don't have the program implemented district-wide. And then also just, again, giving all the students access is really important to us. So we have bigger discounts based on your percentage of adoption within the district. So I'd love to have a follow-up conversation from you, get the numbers from you of how many schools you have and what you're thinking of for implementation. And then I can give you a custom quote based on what will fit your needs the best.
Do you want me to?
Go ahead, Laura.
Sorry, I just wanted to know, just would I reach out to you through email then?
Yeah, where do you live?
I'm in Virginia.
Virginia, okay, yep, I'm your person then. We have
Okay.
different people for different areas, and Virginia, I love Virginia. So yeah, you can send me an email, or if you want, actually I wrote your name down. What's your last name?
Spelled Schubert, SCHUBERT.
Okay, I can send you an email afterwards and we can set that up because we have
Okay.
your oh, Jeanette, great. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you as well. So we'll send the follow-up email. You guys can email me directly, or I'll reach out to those of you who have told me you specifically want that follow-up.
Do you all, I'm trying to see how to state this question. Like, if you guest speaker kind of training for like a day with students, as opposed to like a whole lesson plan, like, do you all have anything like that if you wanted to come in, something like code.org sometimes have people to come in as guests and they may do a little activity with the kids or just talk about their career and how they got to where they are, to kind of motivate the students to understand that computer science is connected with everything.
And it's connected with everything. We can do a code event for your school. And I'd love to talk
Okay.
with you about doing that.
Okay,
It's one of
please
my
do.
favorite things to do. We did one in Texas last night, and we did it K-12. I got to teach the K-2 group. It was so fun. So we'd love to do that for you. As
Okay,
far
great.
as people talking about their career and how they got into it, that's absolutely something we can bring into it. That would be more customized. It's not something we have a template for. And we have the template for the code event, like what I did tonight. And then we can just work on
Oh
that.
yeah, definitely the code event, but I just kind of thought like, so that they can make the connection to their world, to
Mhm.
the computer science world, how everything that they do in some kind of way, if they wanted to, they could get into this field, no matter what other field they may be interested in.
Yeah. So I actually am working on building something like that out right now. I've been talking with a couple educators and working on building exactly what you're asking for. So I'd love to talk with you about it and see what we can provide right now and what we can provide in the future as well.
Okay, and I'm in Georgia, so. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, you will love our Georgia team.
Mhm.
They're a riot. We have 3 guys who work out in Georgia and they are just fun. Michelle, thank you. I love girls running these things too. Yes. Yeah, we have all girls on here tonight, don't we? Yeah,
The power.
power for real. I know. I mean, for real, that's a big part of my why is I didn't have access to it. My profile of somebody who coded was like, there was this boy in my neighborhood. He was so nerdy and his dad did computers and they were super smart. And I wasn't taught that I was smart, like women weren't as smart as men, like all of those things. And so I just want kids to have this. And then especially like in light of Black history, I'm obviously white. So I can't totally relate, but I know that there are that many more obstacles and challenges that Black learners have because of misconceptions and stereotypes and just all of those things. So yeah, Sarah, good point. Oh, plug. Next month we are doing this same sort of thing-ish, but we're doing it for women's history. Sarah's on here. She's going to be teaching it. And it will be elementary focused. So we'll be showcasing our elementary platform and tools there. And Sarah's also a teacher and amazing.
Yes, I'm so excited. Yeah, everything that Valerie said, super excited.
Just, I did put a comment in the chat, so Valerie, you'll probably be following up with something in the email.
Mhm.
So I'm putting together a budget for the upcoming year and possibly, I could mention this because we're already into code, but I think this is something good to add because it has the different components. I think it's good. And I think it's good. I just really think it's good for the kids. And I teach middle through high.
And you're at a charter school in Virginia, right? Or Rhode Island?
No, Rhode Island, yeah.
You're Rhode Island. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'd love to have that conversation and get this to students and their teachers. I'm excited.
Well, thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
Yeah. hope
So
to
you
hear
will
from you soon.
email me so I can get in contact with people here in Georgia, or how do we
Yeah,
go? How do I do
Karen,
it?
we'll send you a follow-up email. And in fact, if you hang on a second, I can drop there. Our team, Damien is our main person in Georgia, who has actually worked with detention centers before, not with Skillstruck,